So now we're going to be solving inequalities with multiplication and division, and it is one-step inequalities. So if you are multiplying or dividing by a positive number, you're going to just keep the inequality the same. Nothing is going to change like how we've been doing it this chapter so far. The new rule that is added is if you multiply or divide by a negative number, you must flip the inequality sign, because what happens is it makes it false, or it would be like no solution if you don't flip the sign. It doesn't make any sense. So we're going to be looking at the first one. So it says x divided by 8 is greater than negative 5. And to get rid of the 8 and get x by itself, you would have to multiply an 8 on both sides. Now, the number that we're multiplying is a positive number, so you do not have to flip the sign. So in this case, it would just be x is greater than negative 40, because negative 5 times 8 is negative 40. So I'm going to fill out my number line. I always want least to greatest. So I'm going to fill it out all the way. Then we're going to go this way. So we have negative 39, negative 38, negative 37, negative 36. And because it is a greater than sign, we are going to put an open circle, and we want numbers that are greater than negative 40. So that would be any number to the right of it. And we have to write in an interval notation still. So we read left to right. So it would be parentheses negative 40, comma, positive infinity, because we're getting all the positive numbers to its right, and then a parenthesis, because a parenthesis is always next to the infinity symbol. Now in this next one, you want to get x by itself, so it's saying 3 times x is less than or equal to negative 24, so you want to divide by 3 on both sides. Now in this case, the number that we're dividing by is a positive number, so we do not have to flip the sign. It doesn't matter about the one over here, this number, it's only the one that you're actually doing the operation to get rid of it. So in this case, we have x is less than or equal to negative 8. So we're going to fill out our number line least to greatest. So we have negative 8, negative 9, negative 10, negative 11, negative 12, negative 13. Then we have negative 7, negative 6, negative 5, negative 4. So I'm going to put a closed circle because it's a less than or equal to, so it's including the negative 8. And I want all numbers that are less than negative 8, so that would be going to the left. So I want to write my interval notation, and I want to read it left to right. So because it's going towards more negative numbers, we're going to do a parenthesis, negative infinity, comma. Now, because it's a closed circle, we're going to write negative 8 and then use a bracket for the interval notation. Now, our next one is y divided by negative 3 is greater than or equal to 2. So to get y by itself, we have to multiply it by a negative 3. Now, because we're multiplying by a negative number, we're going to flip the sign. So we have y is less than or equal to negative 6. So now it changes. So make sure you flip that sign if you're multiplying by that negative number. So whatever one you're doing to get the variable by itself, you flip it. So in this case, we have y is less than or equal to negative 6. So I'm going to fill out my number table or my number line. So I'm going to put a closed circle because it's a less than or equal to, and I want all numbers that are less than negative 6. So I'm going to bring them this way. So we're going to write our interval notation as parentheses, negative infinity, comma, negative 6, and we're going to include that negative 6. Now our last one is negative 7 times y is less than negative 35. So because I'm dividing by a negative 7, I'm going to make sure I flip the sign. So I have y is greater than 5. And now I'm going to fill up my number line. So I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So I'm going to put an open circle on 5. I want all numbers that are greater than 5, so it's going to be going to the right. And I'm going to write my interval notation left to right. So I'm going to do parentheses because I'm not including the 5, comma, a positive infinity because I'm going towards the more positive numbers, and then a parenthesis.